Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Thank you for your patience traveling with my family. So again, excuse the setup. Now I want to get into a few things. One, Tony is possible. That's the next name on the list. While it is possible, I like to keep things in perspective. It is not likely, but there is a chance that Tony does develop, especially in the south, western sections, southwestern sections of the Caribbean. By the time we really get into about a week and a half from now, this is the European model. This takes a look at what's kind of breaks down the model further and shows kind of different variations of the same model. That's all confusing. But with that, it does show the European models hinting at some development in the Caribbean about a week and a half from now. The American model is doing the same thing. I want to track that possibility for you. The possibility of some flooding in Jamaica all the way up through the Turks and Caicos, watching Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and even parts of Cuba. I'll zoom down to Jamaica in a moment. And this time of year kind of gets active in spots. Now, a good example of that is Trinidad and Tobago and Aruba. We haven't had a 100% chance of rain, but where we've been getting the rain, we've had some flooding. We've seen that over the last week or so in parts of Aruba and back toward Trinidad and Tobago. So a very active pattern. A lot of moisture is going to be continuing to pump in. Zooming down a little bit closer, everything is going to start to build across the Caribbean over the next few days. A lot of rain, and that is generally going to be lifting to the north. There's that pocket of some of the rain near Puerto Rico, U.S. British Virgin Islands, and still unsettled as we get near Barbados, down through Trinidad, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, ABC Islands, and then near Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Honduras. By the time we get into the weekend and next week, that rain could build further. So as far as Tony is concerned, or the possibility of Tony, well, the American model is now saying, hey, this area eventually by next week in early December is going to become Tropical Storm Tony. The other model is not seeing that. The European model, the main portion of that model, is not showing this becoming a storm, but it does show the buildup of moisture, and it is showing at least the chance that it does become Tropical Storm Tony. The Canadian model and the Icon model do not have this developing into a storm. But with that said, again, I watch everything, not just the models, what's kind of going on with the environment and just everything out there. Take in everything account behind the scenes and try to break it down best I can for you. The warmest water, some of the warmest water in the Caribbean is right where this area could form, 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, a little bit warmer in some spots. So it's not surprising that the models are hinting at the possibility of development. A lot of rain's going to be building in here. Water temperatures are very warm, and if the upper air conditions stay the winds up above our heads stay light, that could allow something to eventually develop. So the environment is also saying, hey, yeah, something may develop here. So I want to show you the American and the European model long term on what I'm seeing. But the next name on the list is Tony. We'll see if we have that. That's still a wait and see, but you know I'm watching everything. Valerie and then William, the final names on the list for the season. So let's go short term first, because the first concern is the flooding potential as we go throughout the week. This is later today. Watching near Jamaica, back through parts of eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, that rain building, Puerto Rico, some rain, and as I mentioned, eastern Caribbean. Not all of us get rain, but if we do, we could get some isolated areas of flooding. And then this is tomorrow. Once again, that big moisture surge that we've been tracking together for days and days. No signs of development, but the increased rain right in through here. Jamaica up through the Turks and Caicos. Monitoring some flooding. Keep me posted in the comments. I'll be watching that. Same thing as we go into Tuesday. That big blob of rain around, so the active pattern. Now, let's go out in time further. So again, that's short term. Watching the rain, the forecast is on track, watching the possibility of flooding. But let's jump ahead a little bit so you can see the time frame ticking ahead. This is as we get into next weekend. So we're looking at about a week from now. This would be Saturday. So 6 days from now, once again, a similar scenario. And that's why the first thing I'm concerned about is the flooding, because we're going to have a lot of rain through the Caribbean even long term. And then this is the American model. Then the American model wants to start to develop an area. You see it right there, making this area a tropical storm a week from now. Now, most of the models are not showing that, but I do like to show you everything I'm seeing, and even the European models hinting at this. But you can see exactly where, remember I just showed you the very warm water temperatures? That's exactly where the American model has something trying to develop about a week from now. So it does have my attention. If that does become a named system, I'll be tracking it for you well in advance. And the next name on the list is, as I said, Tony. So here's the European model, and we're going to zoom out in time real quickly. It does very similar to the American model. It shows all of that rain, even some of that increased rain in the eastern sections of the Caribbean just moving in. High pressure up to the north. So again, if something does develop, it's not a threat to the United States, but a lot of rain. So watching out for that flood potential as we go over the next few days or so. Now, European model, similar to the American model. Now, going out in time here, you can see across here's Cuba, you can see here's Jamaica right here. Across the Caribbean, a lot of rain building. This here would be by the middle of the week. This here is on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, same thing, flooding a threat, watching some of that rain lifting up towards southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, near Haiti, the Dominican Republic, even Puerto Rico, just like the American model. And then, while there's some differences down the road, let me jump ahead here. This is getting into the upcoming weekend. So you can see by the upcoming weekend, and then even 7-8 days from now, right here, showing a lot of rain building in the Caribbean. It's not showing a tropical storm like the American model showing, but what I am finding very interesting, it is showing a buildup of rain in the same spot. That's why it has my attention. Water temperatures are warm. The American model saying a tropical storm, and even the European model saying this is a spot to watch. This here would be by a week from today, or about 8 days from today, so 7-8 days from today. That's the spot to watch for the possibility of some tropical development, even as we work our way into December. Now let's shift back to some of the rain that we could have. Now, in Jamaica, it's not one blob of rain. So some of us, look at this red shading even showing up. If we get repeat rain over the next 3 days, we could get some spots over 150 millimeters of rain or 6 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain, as we well know. That could lead to some flooding, while others not as much, where we could get maybe 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches. So some of us will get some flooding, some of us won't. I'm watching it carefully. Let me know in the comments your location and what you're getting or not getting as we go over the next few days. I'll get back to some more of the rain totals in a second. Now, let's shift back with this area of rain in the Caribbean. This is meters, this is feet on your screen right here. These are the wave heights. So just a heads up for, of course, the waters. Any interest on the water, everything's going to be getting choppier in the Caribbean as we go throughout the upcoming week. And then eventually, just kind of going out in time again to show you what's next, as we work our way into the upcoming weekend, a week from now, you see the seas really building in the southwestern Caribbean, and that's exactly where both the European model and the American model are saying, hey, something could develop in that spot. So we can see the seas really building in the Western Caribbean by the time we get into the next weekend. All right, let's get a look at what we got going on to the north. Here's Bermuda. Here is that spin Atlantic region of Canada. Once again, watching some of that rain, and a cold rain it has been. I've been watching your comments as well. This area will depart, and then we'll be watching out for the next system trying to work in. You can see one kind of crossing the Great Lakes, another front that will be moving by. So just kind of that active period, but not quite as active as we had last week. There'll be some breaks in the action, but watching out for some fronts working in Newfoundland back through New Brunswick as we go over the next few days, as is typical this time of year. So here's some of that rain. I zoomed out to Jamaica, Cayman Islands. We're going to see increased rain as well, especially over toward Brac. Not as much as you get in Little Cayman, not as much Grand Cayman, but look at that surge of moisture right up through eastern Cuba, back through the Turks and Caicos. Giving you that heads up, flooding will be a potential. Over 6 inches of rain will be a possibility in the Turks and Caicos, over 150 millimeters of rain. You can see again these brighter colors really popping up, flooding a potential. Watching the rivers in Haiti, watching out for some isolated areas of flooding in the Dominican Republic over the next few days. Now, not as much. Puerto Rico around the Horn toward Antigua, Barbuda may get 10, 25 millimeters of rain, maybe up to an inch of rain back through Guadalupe and Dominica. But where we get it, we could get some downpours around. So once again, keeping an eye on Trinidad and Tobago, that's where the rain chance will be a little higher. That means we could get some totals of 75 millimeters of rain or 3 inches of rain, even northeastern sections of Venezuela, Guyana, even Suriname. That rain chance has been bouncing back some. Now, as we work our way back into parts of Central America, Belize, back through Nicaragua, scattered areas of rain, a little bit more of Costa Rica, Panama, and again in Colombia. Watching out for that moisture as it just surges up. We're going to see some of that flooding being a potential back into Mexico City to the north. mainly the dry conditions with us. So we get a look at the outlook as far as the rain is concerned. Jamaica, we are just picking up with some of those rain totals. Tuesday, we're up to about an 80% chance. And you see now Cayman Islands, I mentioned, closer to Jamaica. So you get over toward Brac, that's where we have a better chance of getting some of the rain. Not as much Grand Cayman, but if we get some of that rain, we could deal with some of the flooding. Now this is Trinidad and Tobago. I mentioned not all of us get the rain, but where we do, flooding is a potential. We're looking at about a 50% chance of some of that rain, 40 to 50% chance scattered about over the next few days as we work our way into Barbados, 50% chance in St. Lucia. So you see how it's active. It's not a 100% chance, but the tropical downpours could lead to some of that flooding. 50% chance over the next couple of days in Grenada. 40% chance today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and about a 50% chance on our Monday, and running at a 50% chance the next couple of days in Martinique, 50% chance the next couple of days in Dominica. But by Tuesday, the rain chance is going to be higher. We're up to a 60% chance in Dominica. Rain chance in Guadeloupe, we're looking at about a 50% chance of seeing some of that rain as we work our way forward over the next few days. And then we swing to the north. Could see some spotty showers, but we say the rain chance is a little bit lower. Antigua and Barbuda, we're looking at a 30% chance, 30 to 40% chance as we work our way into the upcoming week. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat. Rain chance not as high today in Anguilla, St. Bart's. 20, 30% chance for today into tomorrow. And we do that again over towards St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. Rain chance will be higher as we work our way into Puerto Rico. Not all of us get it, but again, some areas of flooding and a lot of moisture building in the Caribbean. So we'll see how much of that kind of pumps our way. But we have those scattered areas of rain today near Puerto Rico and the British and U.S. Virgin Islands. That rain chance is elevated today. A 60% chance of at least seeing some of those showers. We work our way back toward the Bahamas, southern Bahamas. That's where we'll be watching the upcoming week for that higher chance of rain. And then as we get back toward the Turks and Caicos, watching out for the flood potential, which I was highlighting earlier, up to a 60% chance of rain for tomorrow. Areas of flooding possible, the Dominican Republic, back toward Haiti as we get some rounds of rain moving in. Watching out for some of those rivers. Rain chance about 20 to 30% in Belize, not quite as much. Rain chance 30 to 40% in Aruba, but like I mentioned, if we get some of the rain, we could get some isolated areas of flooding. We do that again over toward Curacao and Bonaire. Rain chance about 30 to 40% as we go over the next 3 days. We get back toward Guyana. Northern sections, a better chance of getting some of the rain. 40 to 50% chance on Suriname, so it is elevated. 10% chance today in Cuba, but it is going to build, but mainly eastern Cuba for the upcoming week. Drier western and central sections. Costa Rica, Panama, 60 to 70% chance of rain again. 50 to 60% chance in Nicaragua. And then as we work our way toward Honduras, 50 to 60% chance of some scattered areas of rain. About a 20% chance Guatemala and El Salvador. It has been drier. Mexico City, rain chance about 10%. 10% chance over the next couple of days, Yucatan Peninsula, up to a 30% chance by the time we hit Thursday. Rain chance 40% in northern Colombia, and we're looking at a 30 to 40% chance across northern Venezuela. We just had a front move by across Bermuda, so over the next 3 days, that rain chance is lower. So we get a look at what we're dealing with the outlook as a whole. We're keeping a very close eye on the Caribbean for the rain building, and that means that higher threat of flooding, which I'll continue to track island by island, location by location. And then we'll see as we go throughout the week if Tony is going to be trying to develop in parts of the Caribbean. So got you covered. Thank you for being part of this channel, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll be going through those comments as we go throughout the day. Be safe.